Hey, welcome back to Recovery Rocks. It's Jim from SoberNow.com. Going to talk to you today about some of the best relapse prevention strategies that I know. And I guess the first thing that I tend to emphasize to folks up front is the vitality of having a plan. Winging it, making it up as we go along, figuring it out as we go, no, none of that's going to work. I'm fond of saying there are very few things more dangerous than a person in early recovery with too much time on their hands. We need to stay busy. We need to have routines and habits that work for us. But let's break it down to some really basic pieces. So the first thing that you should have in your plan are who are the people that are going to be involved in this with you. So we have people that encourage and support us. We have people, family, friends, maybe who just are there for us, not if we need them. Okay, in early recovery, trust me, you need them. And don't wait until it feels like it's just too much to bear. Start checking in with folks early on. Start accessing your support even when you're feeling good. Let's not wait for things to become a problem because by then we're already feeling a little bit overwhelmed. The second piece to this is you need to have at least one or two people, at least, who really understand addiction. Because if you're like me and you have an addictive brain, you're very good at conning people, right? You can convince them that you're fine even when your ass is falling off. You can sell ice to Eskimos, right? That's the kind of people we are, let's be honest. And we don't lose that ability to manipulate others simply because we're moving towards a better life, right? There's nothing about being sober that necessarily makes us more honest. If anything, we have to check in with folks because we're not always sure where we're at or what's going on with us or how we're feeling. So let's figure out who are the people that support you and encourage you, who are the people that really understand addiction and are going to hold you accountable, hold your feet to the fire, and we're going to make sure that we're checking in with them. We're going to have a schedule, and if you're working, great. Let's start with that and build around it. If you're not working, if you're taking some time to get through this process, that's fine. But let's fill up your day, whether that's with 12-step meetings, treatment, counseling, whatever it is. You can't afford to have spare time. Not much of it anyway. If you're really not sure what to do with yourself or what to do with your spare time, great, be of service to others. The world is full of people that are in need of help. And so maybe that means you go down to your local homeless shelter. Maybe that means you go down to the local soup kitchen. Maybe that means there's people in your family, people that need help with everyday things. Great, show up and help them. Because the more we get out of ourselves and connect to other people, the more manageable this process becomes. There's an adage that my friends in 12-step communities use. It's called HALT. And it's one of the best bases for a relapse prevention plan that I know. So the HALT acronym stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And the idea here is that we have a responsibility and we have to monitor ourselves in an ongoing fashion so that we don't become too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired, because these are things that put us at greater risk for becoming overwhelmed, for having a lot of instability in our mood, or being impulsive in our choices. As you practice this, and ideally you're going to deal with hunger with really nutritious food and a ton of water. I can't emphasize that enough. In early recovery, your body is flushing toxins. It's trying to right itself. You need all of the healthy hydration you can get, all of the healthy food you can manage, and you need some type of exercise. Your body's literally trying to get a lot of stuff out of its system. You do that by sweating. You give your body fuel to run on with good nutrition and water. So not too hungry. Anger is a tough one for us, especially when we're early on in this process. As a counselor, I want to say to you, anger never, ever, ever travels alone. And that may sound strange. We're people who tend to fear vulnerability, and we use anger to cover up a lot of our real emotions. So whenever we start feeling a little bit frustrated, irritable, really just watered down words for anger, we should try to locate, what else am I feeling? Okay, maybe I'm angry and I'm scared. I'm angry and my feelings are hurt. I'm sad. I'm disappointed. Whatever that is, that's going to make things a lot more manageable. If I'm identifying what is it that's really going on with me, and can I get some support for that? It's a lot harder to get support for just being angry. But if you have friends or family who really want to support you, and you go to them and say, I'm feeling really sad, I'm disappointed, I'm lonely, here's things that I'm feeling, I need some support, they're going to want to help you through that. And if you're fearful of that, if you find that it's hard for you to accept support, then your addictive mind is going to give you a lot of bad ideas about how you don't want to impose on them, how you don't want to burden them. They shouldn't have to do this for you. Well, think about it this way, especially if they were negatively affected by your addiction. We didn't worry about protecting them or excluding them when we were making bad choices. So let's not exclude them now that we're making healthy choices. Okay, lonely is the next one. And lonely is big because if you're anything like me, you can be lonely in a crowd of people, right? You need to be connected. You need to be in good company and around people that get you. Just being in a crowd doesn't necessarily help us much at all. And the last one is tired. And tired is more than the obvious, yes, we need sleep. Especially in early recovery, we need more than the traditional 7 or 8 hours a night. But tired is an emotional state as well. And nobody's ever just tired. It works the same way as anger. We're tired, we're drained, we're run down, we're emotionally bankrupt. And so we need things that feed our spirit. We need people that lift our mood. And ideally, we'll find ways to have fun and laugh. We'll find things that are fulfilling and meaningful. Whatever part of the process we're at, we need to be having some kind of purpose and doing things that make a difference in our lives and in others. So those are some real basic tips on relapse prevention. I want to throw out there, journaling is probably the homework assignment that I give the most as a therapist. It literally helps us to get on the same page with ourselves. And when you write or type on a screen everything that's going through your mind, I can promise you that it will look very different when you bring it out into the open. If it only exists in your head, first of all, it's unlikely to change. And second of all, it tends to be circular. So those ideas that you're thinking about over and over again just kind of play on a loop and they don't go anywhere. So there's not a lot of value in that. Once we bring it out into the open, we can examine it, we can share it with others, and we can start brainstorming ideas about how it can change. So try out some of those strategies. Email me, jim@sobernow.com. Let's get your questions answered. Let's explore some more topics that you want to hear about. And please check out my site, sobernow.com. Program for folks who are seeking recovery from addiction, and a second program for their friends and family, how we cope with having a loved one in addiction or in early recovery. Thanks so much. Join me again.